Hello, everyone. Hello, hello,
Hi.
hello. Here we are. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys
Awesome.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
Awesome. It's nice to have you all here. So, let me start with introductions. I'm Oluwatosin. I'm a co-founder at Africa Comic Kid, and I have
Hello,
here.
yeah, my name is Adewale. I'm also a co-founder at Africa Communicated.
So it's nice to have you guys here. We would love you guys to introduce yourselves, starting with Dennis.
Oh, okay. Hi everyone. My name is Dennis Panda. I am the um, COO of Otaku, which is a Zambian um, an organization that promotes everything nerd culture. Yeah, and this year I guess we're hosting the Zambian Global Game Jam online, the Zambian version.
Awesome. That's good to know. Okay, then, Ransford, please introduce
okay.
yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, yes,
we
we
can hear
can.
you loud and clear.
Wow. All right. Thanks for adding me. So it's my turn to introduce, right?
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. My name is Ransford Ohini Redu in Ghana. I run a business called Dream Up Studios, and I'm part of the Tema GameJam. So I don't know if anyone knows of Nomak or Eben. It's the same name, but he's being recognized as Eben. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to his place before coming. The time, the time that we are working with, I think I mistook it for our time. It's
Oh,
now
okay,
2
okay,
p.m.
that's
here. So when I saw the time, so I couldn't. I just had to rush home and get everything
fine.
started. Okay, so
That's
No
totally
problem.
fine.
hi everyone.
So, cool. It's nice to
All
have you
right.
here. All right, then, Femi,
Okay.
can you please introduce yourself?
All right. Good day, everyone from everywhere. So nice to see some lovely faces. Thank
Yeah.
you, Shelby. Thank you, Emilia. It's good to see you. Kirubel, it's nice to see you. Wonderful. My name is Femi Dedeji. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a designer. I'm a member of the Enter African Network, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm also the editor in chief of New Media NG and also the lead designer at Novel Draw Creative. So nice to be here today.
That's
Yeah, thank
awesome.
you.
It's so nice to have you. Avilia, welcome. Can you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Yes, thanks, Tosin. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can
can.
hear.
Okay, so my name is Evelia
Yeah.
Gadegbeku from Burkina Faso, and I'm head of marketing and communication of Inter-Africa Network, also the president of Inter-Africa here in Burkina Faso. I'm running an agency in the field of communication and advertising, and I'm also managing the Global Game Jams this year in Burkina Faso. Nice to meet you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. It's nice to have you here. Then, Kirubel, can you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi everyone. Hi Vilia. Hi Femi.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Douglas as well. How are you? If you're listening. Um it's nice to be here. It's nice
I
to also see familiar faces. It's been a while. Um my name is Kirobel. I'm from Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. A lot of things, but relevant to this topic. I want to mention that I'm part of the Inter-Africa community, and I'm also the representative or the country president for Ethiopia for Inter-Africa. But I'm also Global Game Jam regional organizer, meaning that I'm also responsible for the East African region with regards to Global Game Jam. I think that's it.
That's awesome. So is Douglas with us? Hi, Douglas.
Hi, Tosin. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so thanks for this invitation. My name is Douglas Ogeto, co-founder of Ludicrox, which is Africa's leading video game publisher. We're excited to be here, meet you all. We are also the Kenya Global Game Jam organizer. I'm excited to be here connecting with you all and looking forward to the session.
That's totally awesome. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to have each and every one of us here. And I'm really glad this is happening because we have so many game jam sites across Africa, and it's really nice to see some of us come out and speak about the game jam and how it's going to go down. So before we move ahead, I would really want each and every one of us to just talk about the gaming industry in your home country and how it has been so far. So starting with Douglas, can you please just give us a brief of how the gaming industry is in Kenya? Hello, Douglas. Okay, while Douglas is trying to set up, Dennis, if you can go ahead and just tell us about the gaming industry in Zambia. That would be really nice.
Sorry, I was having a
Okay,
problem.
Douglas,
So thank you for that question. So I think for us here in Kenya, the gaming industry, I'd say, is maturing. We've seen at least a number of quite some good growth, over the last few years, both during Game Jam and also outside Global Game Jam. I think we are fortunate to, over the last few years, we've also been able to see a couple of academic institutions being able to set up shop and teaching anything game development, game design, etc. So I'd say we've been able to see quite a good growth in terms of what developers are building. I'd say for now, still mostly mobile, but at least a number of game developers are now experimenting in terms of what type of games. Not just initially, I'm sure most of you, your developers have been building like endless runners, but now we're seeing most developers trying to build like strategy games, racing games, at least both for mobile as well as for PC. So I think where we are so far is a good place because we can say that we're moving towards quality, but also still seeing more people entering into the space, which I believe will keep growing over the next few years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. It's good to know that the Kenyan gaming industry is moving more and more, and it's getting much better. So over to you, Dennis. How is the gaming industry like in Zambia?
Well, it's still, I would say it's in its infancy. We have a few developers here and there that are working on some games that are some have been made already for mobile, for PC, but it's definitely very much still in its infancy. I guess the collaboration aspect of things is also growing a bit, and I feel that helps the entire, I guess, industry expand. I don't think we have something that you can call an industry yet here in Zambia. We're hoping to get that. I myself, I'm not a developer. I'm more of like an enthusiast, game player, and an industry for publishers and game makers does not necessarily exist here yet, and we're hoping that that changes. But there's a few games on the horizon that and that have already come out, I guess, that will make that a reality.
That's awesome. Hopefully, over the years, more and more games will come out of each and every industry across Africa. That's awesome to know. Femi, can you please just highlight some of the things that are going on in the Nigerian gaming industry for us?
Okay. Nigeria is seeing quite a lot of increase of interest in in the gaming industry. We have a few companies that are set up uh, around edutech, around entertainment, that that have gaming as core of of their products and their products. But by and large, the industry is very young here in Nigeria. But the very good thing is that the uh, the network of professionals that will make it happen pretty fast is quite abundant in Nigeria. We have quite a number of good animators, you know, quite a number of developers in C Sharp, in C, quite a number of designers, so modelers, and all that. So the gaming industry as an organized industry is not so strong yet, but very soon we know that there's going to be an explosion in that sector in Nigeria.
All right, then. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Moving on to Evilia. How is the gaming industry in Burkina Faso?
I think I can say we have a gaming industry. We are just working to build an ecosystem first, and after that we can talk about an industry. For the moment, we just have like a developer, a designer, and subtractor who want to work in some gaming, most using gamification as tool and introduce this domain to organization, institution, just to say, okay, we can do something better than what you think game is. And yeah, we try to make some event like e-sport competition. And yeah, so it's all for the moment, and also take part into the continental fair event ab- in the gaming industry for Africa. But in Burkina Faso, we try to make step by step.
Yes, that's the most important thing, going step by step. And hopefully, we all reach there at one point in time. It's nice to know. Thank you very much, Evilia. Okay, then, Ransford, how is the gaming industry in Ghana?
Yeah, you see, the way you even said Ghana talks more how um, we and Nigeria look alike. Just like Nigeria, we are having a lot of people with the interest to join the industry. We have a lot of designers who are in the system already. Now, designers are choking the system, not knowing what to do, where to join the industry to partake in. But a lot of them are now knowing about these game jams and these competitions that goes on in in the globe. So they try to join the industry, the gaming industry, to also share what they have about creativity. So I was saying we are not all that different from Nigeria. They are our big brothers. Yes, so we are more like taking their footsteps. And as at now, I personally know of like four game jam sites, different sites in Ghana. That's the one that I know of. And a lot of people too into the freelance system where they want to do it in their own separate space. So in a nutshell, I think we are getting there, but we are not there yet. Not at all. I can't say we are matured in it. I can still put us at the growth stage of the industry. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for sharing that with us. I believe we have quite a number of countries that are just trying to grow the gaming industry, which is quite fine. And I believe over the years, gaming would have a lot of impact across Africa. All right, then. Now let's move to Ethiopia. Kiribel, could you please share with us how the gaming industry looks like over there?
Thank you. Uh, I would say the gaming industry doesn't exist in Ethiopia. Not only, but that doesn't mean that. Uh, but that's not only for Ethiopia. I believe. I believe it's the same for Africa as well in general. I'm sorry about you guys talking about Nigeria and Ghana being in a good position, but I don't think it's there yet. There is not even an industry to be called an industry, I would say. But what I see is opportunities. I see opportunities. I see that there are things to be done, a lot of things to be done, and I believe us being meeting here on this platform and talking about this topic is one of those key things we need, to moving forward, and not only talking about it, actually doing something about it as well. But that doesn't mean that Ethiopia is not working on games as well. We're working on a lot of topics, including global game jam. As an ecosystem, I think when we talk about games, it's always about the entertainment side we talk about. I haven't heard any kind of talk about or any kind of discussions about, uh, you know, learning about games, learning how to make games, or for example, um, uh, funding for games specifically, or maybe events about games, or the legalities that come with establishing a game company or a game school or whatever. These things, when we say an industry, it's a double-edged sword, I would say, because you connect with the consumer or the continent in general, and you have on the other side uh, uh, the government or countries by themselves run on different kind of laws and that kind of stuff. That's also
Okay. Are you there with
a
us?
limitation on one side, also on the
Okay.
hello?
Go on.
Okay, so I was saying that there are a lot of topics when you talk about a gaming industry. And in Ethiopia, we're trying to tackle as many of them as possible, especially me and my team. And there are a lot of a couple of other companies. And my hope is in the next 5 to 10 years, we see actual results where we collaborate on not locally, not only in locally in Ethiopia, as I mentioned, with these companies, but also regionally and continent-wide to work together in building this ecosystem. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that, Kiribel. I believe there's so much more to be done, but I would still say we've come a long way also. We've had some game companies come out of different countries across Africa, which are actually doing well, but I know there's still a long way for us to go. But it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Interesting one. I would love to know and would love you to share with everyone that is here with us today. How long have you been organizing game jams and how has the experience been so far organizing game jams? Starting with Douglas. Hello, Douglas. Okay, I think it's not with us yet. Dennis, if you could share with us, that would be lovely. Okay, he's back again. All right then. So Douglas, could you share with us how organizing game jams has been so far for you in in Kenya. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. So for us, this is the third year that we're organizing Global Game Jam. Um, so we started the first one in 2018. Um, yes, sorry, 2019, 2020, and then now this is the third year. So I think for us, it's been an exciting period getting to organize this event. We've one of the beautiful things we've seen is not just growth in terms of game developers being able to attend the event, but also people from other skills, with others from other skill sets being able to join. Talk about sound engineers, game designers, sound artists. At least this has been nice to see that the people are now willing to come and collaborate, bring their skill sets to see what can actually be done over a weekend. Usually, a game jam is quite short, but we've seen teams being able to build a creative kind of concept and game, and we believe as time goes on that this will actually become better and better. For sure, this is the first year that we're organizing a virtual game jam, which I believe the same case for everyone. It will be quite exciting to see, how people can be able to work virtually, coordinate teams, and hopefully at the end of this period, be able to build something worthwhile. So I think for us, the way I'd summarize it is that it's growing. Two, strong collaboration across the industry is happening. Three, but most importantly, the beautiful thing about a game jam is the learning experience. And for most people, at least when we interact with them after the weekend, for most of them rather, it's been exciting, entertaining, and it's been able to help push their skills to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Douglas. It's nice to see you've been here for a long time, helping out with game developers coming together to have games built during Global Game Jam, which is quite amazing. So, Dennis, could you please share with us your experience so far? How long have you guys been organizing game jams, and how has the experience been so far?
Well, for us, we've been organizing for this is our second year organizing our own game jam under the Otaku banner. But the first time that we ever did something related to like game making or like some sort of seminar or something was in 2014 with Site. She's the regional, I guess, manager of Southern Africa. We did something in Lusaka for like a day. I believe it was a day at Bongo Hive, and I guess that's what kind of sparked the interest and showed that there is an actual audience of people that want to learn about games and the game industry and all that. So from 2014 onwards, I've been participating and helping out here and there. But like as an organization, us actually running it ourselves, this is our second year. Yeah, and this obviously since because of COVID, this year is going to be virtual, so that's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to bring up a few challenges that um, we wouldn't run into previously. For example, we have like electricity problems here. We have erratic load shedding. I've actually been load shedded just now, so that's something that I guess we're gonna have to find a way to work around. Obviously, since it being online, there's data issues. Thankfully, we're being sponsored by Liquid Telecom, but like internet is expensive. So without that, I don't know how some participants would manage financially, especially because of everything happening. Things are difficult economically. So there will be some new challenges that are brought up because of the scenario that we're in, but we'll find a way to make it work. And I feel maybe it will help us collaborate easier because we can go now. It's not just in one town in Lusaka, the capital. We can work with people from across the whole country. So that means the pool of skills and talents is wider. So I think that will help. But yeah.
That's very true. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Mr. Femi, would you like to go ahead? How many years have you been organizing game jams? How has the experience been so far?
Well, thanks to Enter Africa Leaders, this is my second year of coordinating Global Game Jam here in Lagos. The first time was last year, 2020. We had that on site, and this is the first time, as Dennis has explained, where we are all having online online experience, and it's going to be pretty much very interesting. We're going to have basically the same kind of problems that Kenya, though I think the issues in Nigeria is a little bit more interesting. We're not having load shedding in Nigeria. There's no load shedding. The light just goes. I'm sorry, but wait, that is how it is. So so you can plan with the the power that is being supplied, and of course data is still pretty much expensive. So, but we are hoping to have some kind of support, to be able to have much more engagements online as we stream the program this weekend, next weekend.
Okay, then that's fantastic because internet issues generally affect a lot, and when it comes to having everything now online due to COVID, it becomes a lot more stressful to go about. But hopefully, I believe it should go well. I really do believe so. So, Evilia, can you tell us how long have you been organizing game jams and how has it been so far for you in Burkina Faso? Oh, sorry, your mic is mute.
So I just want to say it's funny the way we have the same problem in all African countries. The internet issue, electricity issues is something very funny. And it's my second time to organize the Global Game Jam here in Burkina Faso. Last year we are running after time because we took a lot of time about the game concept, the games mechanic, and we are losing a lot of time. And after that, yeah, the last day we uh, um, the last day with all the collaboration between all the team with the designer, the developer, we can finalize the game and just share it, and something very exciting for us. And this year with the online game jams, it's the same problem, but we are just asking university to support us. But we are hoping that something good can happen, and yeah.
Definitely, definitely, something good is going to happen and come out of this. All right, then. Thank you very much. So, on to you, Ransford. How long have we been organizing game jams, and how has the experience been so far?
Um, okay, so personally, I want to caution a disclaimer because there has been other game jams around. I will speak about ours. For ours, this will be our time, our fourth time. But for the other game jams in Ghana, maybe I don't know since 2010 or 2015, I don't know. And it has been fun. Even in our fourth time, this being our fourth time, there were some time that we had a lot of people showing interest, more than 50 people, 50 youth showing interest. But on the D day where we are all to meet and present something or go about an idea, it ends up you getting 5 people around or 6 people around out of the many. So that has been a challenge for a time now that we hope, since it's going to be virtual, maybe we'll get people who are interested. But as the complaints have been done already, talking about data, we don't know how how people are going to cope if they are not at the site, and we can't fully trust that they may show up, but we are giving room for any surprises. But I think throughout the 3 years for now, this year will be the fourth. So throughout the 3 years, it has been fun, and we've got to see a lot of creative people who have something for the gaming industry. And so we keep exploring with them. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ransford. It can be funny at times when you have a lot of people registered for it, the game jam, and come that day, you see
Yeah.
just a very few people there. It can be really, really funny at times. But yeah, hopefully, I believe with more and more events like this, we could always have more and more people interested in the gaming industry and wanting to partake in events like this. So that's totally fine. Next, Kirubel, how long have you been organizing game jams, and how has the experience been so far? Oh, sorry about that. Is not with us currently. Okay, hopefully he gets back with us soon enough. But while we move on, I would like to just highlight some of the comments we have here. There's a question here that says, "Is a game jam meant for game developers only because it's called a game jam?" So I'll throw this out to everyone. Anyone who would like to attend to this, it's highly welcome. So is a game jam meant for game developers only because it's called a game jam, or is it meant for everyone?
No, I don't think so. I think we name a
Okay. Can
developer.
I talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Ransford, hello.
No, she started, so I want her to eat.
Oh, all right then, all right
Oh,
then, that's
okay.
fine. Emilia, can you go first?
Yes, I just said that I don't think it's just for a developer, but you need a developer in your team, of course. But is also an opportunity for all the people who comes for the game jam to work together and to learn from each other. So no, it's not just for a game developer. Everybody can be a part and learn. Yeah.
Awesome. That's very correct. Like I don't see it being just for game developers. I think it's open to everyone. It's a time to experiment, innovate and collaborate. So it doesn't necessarily have to just be the game developers alone. There are people with different skills that they could add to it and make amazing games. So it's not just about programming or the game design. You have guys that just play instruments and they can come and give their own sounds and stuff like that during game jam. So it just opens that world of creativity up. So Ransford, we're about to answer the question. So
Yeah, I think from what you just said, anything that involves creativity can appear in a game jam. Even you made mention of the sound people, sound engineers can be part of game jam. Even vocal artists, there are sometimes we need voiceovers and all those. Even people into business who are more enlightened in business has to bring in their share so that the whole jam becomes something relevant in the system. So, as we are all saying, I don't think any one of us here will say it's for game jammers only, because a programmer is not complete with the designer, without a designer. And a designer is not complete without a developer who helps in the brainstorming, and someone who is creatively helping in brainstorm is also not complete without a business minded person. So it cuts across, and we all come together to help in the game jam and make it successful. So that's my take in that question.
That's very much true. And welcome, Kirubel. We lost you for a while. So we were talking about how game jams has been in your own end. How long have you been organizing game jams and how has the experience been so far? Is that something you would like to share with us?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry about uh, the disconnections. Anyways, I have been organizing. I have been part of the global game jam community for the past 4 years, and then I've been organizing events for the past 4 years. And I just joined the regional organizers team, meaning uh, uh, meaning that I just got the East African regional organizer position this year, and the experience has been uh, um, ecstatic. I've been ecstatic about it because in the beginning it was about the connections you make locally, people who are interested in games, and talking with them, and connecting with them, and seeing what they need, and you know trying to see the opportunities that you can work towards helping them or getting them moving on in this industry. That's one. The next thing I would say is that connecting with people like you guys, people who are interested in games, working in games in Africa in general. So, uh, and now that I'm a regional organizer, I get a chance to connect with the actual site organizers in my region at least, and then connect to the global community of the global game jam community, and then try and work towards expanding uh, you know our reach and um, our capacity to work towards getting a better chance or a better opportunity for our own continent and my own country in Ethiopia.
Thank you very much for sharing with us. Okay, then we have another comment in this comment section that says there's a lot of committed esports organizations and players, especially on the mobile platform. But when it comes to competitive games designed and created in Africa, it says I don't see anything. So is this something I would like us to touch on this? So what are the challenges we are facing as Africans to actually ship games out there for the African audience to actually play?
I would say like it's shipping a game is really difficult. Like just any game, no matter the size or the scope, shipping a game is very, very difficult. So to just the process of getting started and shipping it and marketing it for it to be successful is extremely difficult in and of itself. And because our industry is small to non-existent, as Kirubel suggested, it makes it harder for a game made by someone in Africa to be big enough to be an esport. There are so many big games that have been targeted as esport centric games, like from big studios that have failed because I feel, because I'm a fan of esports, uh, it has to be organic. I can't make a game and say this is going to be an esport. I just need to make a good competitive game and hope that when people start playing it, they're like, wow, this is really competitive and very balanced and popular enough for it to become an esport. So I guess it's going to take time for that to happen. Who knows? This year, someone might release a game that gets big enough and is balanced and competitive enough to be an esport. But I'm sure that might be one of the biggest, one of the first booms that lets everyone know that Africa as a region for game development is like important or something to look into. That's my take.
Okay, anyone else that wants to just contribute to that? Creating games in Africa for the African audience.
Yeah,
Anyone else?
can I come in?
Sure, you can
Can I
go
come
ahead.
in?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I think one of the challenge is the individual people trying to do something on their own rather than coming together as a team to come up with things. There are a lot of freelancers handling their own stuff and want to be the manager and want to be the PR and the HR of whatever they are doing. Until maybe the teamwork become effective, it will be very difficult because without other contributions, you don't know where you are going wrong. So, and is it Kirubel? Yeah, Kirubel made a statement that the studies of game is not yet in our part of world. So maybe putting together the necessary steps and the necessary process to do a great game is not understood by everyone yet. So in that case, you may produce something that you think is great, but when it gets to the masses, people start criticizing it. People start not seeing its relevance in their system, and so it dies off on the way. So if we start working together and putting all these necessary needs of doing a great game together, then I think we will get there and it will not be a challenge for us anymore. So that's it. It's about getting the right steps to get there, which I think we are not. I I don't want to sound insulting to someone, but we are not matured to that stage yet. We are in the growth stage, but we are not there yet. That's my
Sorry, if I could
submission
add
on that.
something. Okay. Absolutely agree with those two opinion around why our own games are not really going out there. And one thing I would like to add to that is opportunities around co-production that few organizations are making available recently. This would actually expose local teams to best practices in other places where game design and development has really gone way up. So I really think that African developers, African content producers in the gaming genre should really explore the opportunities of corporate production, because at the end of the day you're gonna have you're gonna be co-owners of those assets. So it makes a lot of sense to actually use those platforms to be able to hop or games. It's more like standing on the shoulders of people who have gone ahead. Because speaking practically, the industries, we have quite a few things, quite a lot of things to put in place to really have something we can call an industry.
From my side, if I may, I think in addition to what has been shared by the other panelists, I just like to contribute three things. I think the first one is tools. So I think for the most part, most developers have just been interacting with the tools that they probably get to know of during activities such as this one, during activities like the global game jams. So I think the beauty about it is that as more industry players and industry companies come into the continent, this will help provide the community or the developers with the necessary tools that they will need to be able to build, for example, what are competitive kind of game will require. Secondly, I think it's all about opportunity. I think most of the developers, most of them are starting from where they know or what they know. So, and I believe this is a case across the continent. You probably don't expect a game developer to jump big, just because of the experience that being a good game developer requires. So I think as the opportunities become more available, we'll see more game developers opening their mindset towards building multiplayer. And then I think lastly, most of you know that building a good game takes time and budget. So I think for now, most of the game developers are limited in terms of budgets that they're working with, so which limits their current scope. So as budgets become available, as mentioned by my colleague around, like co-production, we'll definitely see more bigger games and hopefully also competitive games becoming available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Douglas. Avilia.
Yeah, I agree with what just Douglas said, and also the Femi comment. I think most of the time it's all about time and budget, and lot of budget, because we have a good skies in the continent, but to have the team to work on the mobile game is something very difficult. We try to do it with Inter-Africa community, with our project, co-production project, but we at the end we understand that we need to give more time to our local community to understand the gaming industry process, the way things goes on. It's not just about create game, but create good game for gamers, and after that see how we can manage to African game to attain the next level, to be a part of the professional esport competition. And yeah, it's something who will take a lot of time, and we need support to finalize all the system and make something good at the end. Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. It's still going to take a lot of time. And like you all have said, a lot of budget is going to be needed to actually create the kind of games people want to see. So, Kiribel, do you have something to say as regards to this?
I'm sorry. Can you? I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so I'll pop the question again. David says there's a lot of committed esports organizations and players, especially into mobile platform. But when it comes to competitive games designed and created in Africa, I don't see anything. So
Yeah,
what's
I think.
what's really the issue?
Um. I think it's a two-parter question. I'm meaning that he's talking about the esports. I think there's a lot of questions in one question. I see that he's talking about the esports organization and the esports players. He's also talking about uh, mobile platforms, meaning about the games that are being designed and or created by studios. So um, I'll try to answer them part by part. Okay, so about esports and the competitions, or I would say that the ecosystem is not ready for that kind of stuff yet. But in a sense that a full-fledged ecosystem esports competition might be a bit um hard to organize, because you need to work with the consumers first. You need to have a ready-made consumers, and you need to have ready-made players, or dedicated uh, esports teams and that kind of stuff. So uh, organizing the event by itself is a challenge, in that there isn't a lot of viewership or consumer on one side. Even if you're selling it to the uh, Western countries, you'd need players or competitors here, and you don't have that a lot of players to even organize a competition, let alone have a professional players, because we have talked about the internet issue, we have talked about access to computers and equipment and that kind of stuff. There are a lot of problems, but if you're going about it, the best way to go about it, I would say, is the way currently Inter Africa is going through a project with Wesco. If I don't know anyone if you guys have heard. So Inter Africa is an organization, and Wesco is another organization, a global organization, just like Global Game Jam, and organizations working together. And as an organization, their targets and ways of doing or executing this kind of events and that kind of stuff is very different. They do not only see the value in only organizing a competition, but they also see that there is an opportunity to have an educational branch and work with each countries in the organization and that kind of stuff. So it's not a one-sided or a straight. There's no straight answer for this kind of questions. It's multi-directional. There are a lot of problems, and you have to see them from each angle, and you need to work on each of these problems. So I think that covers the esports organizations, events, and the players themselves. As to the game design and creative studios that are working in games, I think Global Game Jam is one of those things and events that we are trying to do to actually initiate and create opportunities for this kind of people, studios, or even people who do not even know about this kind of stuff. For example, in my country, I am the only Global Game Jam site organizer in Ethiopia. I don't want to be that. It's too much of a burden for me. I want anyone who is interested in this first to get the information is very difficult here. So I want to create an opportunity for them to get to hear about Global Game Jam, and then maybe hopefully get to organize their own site and create the same opportunity that I tried to give them, and they can do that for others, and it continues on and on and on. So these opportunities like that, I think, would be a start. But like I said in the beginning, I talked about education. We don't have education about games. If you don't have education about games, you can't have professionals working on games. So just like the previous question I answered, I would say they are all interconnected, and we need to work on all of them from every side. Thank you.
That's quite insightful. That's quite insightful. There are lots of problems, and I believe we just need to start picking them one after the other and try to solve them. So yes, we have another comment here that says, after game jams, what's next? Is there some kind of follow-up, mentorship, support from the organizers for the participants? So if you could share with us, what do you guys do after the game jam? Because the game jam lasts for just 3 days, but it's quite different this year. Or what do you guys do after the game jam? Are there any plans to keep these people engaged and learn more? Looking forward to the next game jam. The floor is open to each and every one of us. So, okay, let's start from Dennis.
Okay, Dennis, go. I'll happy.
No worries. Thank you. I guess initially in the past, the follow-up, I guess, wasn't as good. We'd always, like after the euphoria of a game jam, everyone's excited and all that. And, sometimes you're a bit disappointed because maybe you didn't finish your game in time, and there's a few features that you wanted to go in. Some people continue with those games and try and finish them up or polish them, while most of the times we just never as Otaku, we never really did do any follow-ups. But this year, we made a conscious decision to have as many game jams throughout the year as possible. So the Global Game Jam is not going to be the only game jam that we will host as Otaku. We're going to continuously do this throughout the course of the whole year. Hopefully, if and when COVID dies down, we'll be able to meet, share resources, collaborate, give advice, learn, and that way, I think things will improve, and there'll be more enthusiasm and growth in terms of game development in the country that way. So yeah, I do like the question, and I do think it's necessary that there be more, I guess, follow up after a game jam is done.
Thank you very much. So, who wants to go next?
Okay. Okay. Kilbert, please go ahead. All right. I observed that quite a lot of people came particularly to our last game jam, or people who are already very functional in some other environments. Developers who are already we have a gentleman who's already very good JavaScript developer. But he understands that you can also use JavaScript to make games. And we have people who are already who are already very active using their tools, using their skills in several other environments, who want to come into the gaming industry. I mean, who want to come into gaming. So what that kind of game jam gives them as an opportunity is that you get to try out something, see what you can do with other people, because at the end of the day, it's not really about what you can do alone. It's going to be about working in a team. So that is the most important takeaway from the game jam. The fact that you understand how you fit into the system. Then of course we try to keep a network alive. Through the year. So if there are other ideas coming in, it may not even have to do with game. It could be something different, but game design is it could be more of a tool to solve other problems. It could be, I need a simulation in this area, I need some marketing solution. So there could be other opportunities that could come in for people in such networks. So the idea is not just come in and say, okay, that's the end, but to also build a network with creatives in your city and to be able to develop your skills, particularly as it fits into this emerging industry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was quite insightful. So, anyone else wants to go next?
Yeah, I'm agree with Femi. In fact, I think it also depends about the team and like you said, the support who comes after the game jams. Sometimes teams want to work more on it's not a game, it's more a prototype, want to comprehend all the step, and also the way if the people who hear about the game want to know more about game mechanic, the story behind, the reason behind, and if they want, and we got the chance a support from some institution. Yes, sometimes we try to make it more than what we create for the game jams, and after that we see. But it's also about budget and take time to develop this kind of game is something who can be decided just after the game jam, but it's more about discussion. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Amelia. So, is there anybody else that would like to add to that? The type of follow-ups we do after game jams and the activities we engage in prior to the next game jam.
So I think for us here in Kenya, what we've been
can I
able
come
to
in?
do in the past. Hello.
Go on, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I think for me here in Kenya, what we've been able to do is we've been able to see at least a number of teams, which who have been interested in pursuing their projects even after the game jam. Last year, as Ludicox said, we were able to work closely also with the community. We do understand that building a game needs different skills. So we partnered, for example, with the Nairobi Game Development Center, who are providing co-working space to people within the gaming industry. As a team also can be considered a business. They need to somewhere to be able to work out of, meet. So we're able to work with other ecosystem partners. Providing them space. Also worked with Liquid Telecom to see how to provide like cloud credits, because building a game also requires somewhere where to host the game, etc. And then we as Ludiquax are also interested to see how we can provide that much needed mentorship even after the game jam, so that these games can be able to get to see the light of day. So I think for us as a company, we are excited about the space. We are interested to see what kind of projects come from across the continent. And for us, we are always available and reachable via email to see how, what promising projects can actually be taken to the next step. So yeah, I think for us, it's our doors are open, but we're also working with other enablers just to see how to make this possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Douglas. It's highly important we have these follow-ups to always keep the communities together and let these creatives see that it's not just a one-time thing, but a continuous thing. And hopefully the gaming industry can move further from there. So also, I would like to ask this question. How do you think game jams benefit the larger games that people try to create? Like, is the game jams promote collaboration very well? I would like to hear your views about this. Okay, Dennis, if
Hello?
you go first. Game jams actually create an avenue for collaboration, and do they like find a way to benefit larger projects even after the game jam? Have like people who work on the game behind the game jam now move into creating larger game-based projects. So do game jams actually help collaboration? It's something I would really like to hear insights on.
Yeah, I do think they do help the larger aspect. Like for example, here in Zambia, like um, getting to find just more people, like more diverse people who are into game making and video games, I think is really important. Like finding people who have very unique perspectives on game design. Like because most game designers have been fans of video games for most of their lives, like even from childhood. But when you go to a game jam, sometimes you find someone who like just has never played games before, and they're just interested in the process of making games. And their perspective is very interesting because some of the things that we take for granted as people who've been playing games for so long, they have a different view on it, and their idea is so unique and so different that it's interesting. Or if you're already making a game, you can find someone who has the skill set that you need, and you can add them to your team. So I do think that yes, it does have a very positive effect on the general um, quote unquote industry here in Zambia specifically. It really does.
Thank you very much. That's very true because me, I also believe that collaboration is highly important when it comes to creating games. It's not a one man's job. So, anybody else? Mr. Femi?
Okay. Douglas mentioned something very important. How established studios in Africa or upcoming studios in Africa are looking within the space for opportunities. How games can go beyond the game jam environment into something even bigger. So you can never tell who is watching. So opportunities can come. And how you know game jam is about getting something big done within a very short period of time, and also collaborating, doing it in a group. Of course, there are jammers who like to do it solo. It's also an advantage for them in a way. But essentially, it's also, it's about how you can work with a lean team and get results. So a lot of people are watching, and Game Jam allows you to publish your game, and it also exposes you to more than 15,000, you know, people who can potential players of your game. So it both encourages team play now, and also gives you opportunity for something big in the future.
That's very true. It's more like the stepping stone towards actually working on larger projects whereby you get to meet other people and collaborate. So anybody else would like to share with us? Do you think game jams actually improve collaboration?
I would like to answer this question. Um, uh, since the beginning of our global game jam events, we've had a chance to, you know, get connected with people who are interested in the gaming industry in general. So they might be artists, game developers, musicians, story writers, or just generally people who are just interested and don't know what they want to do, and they just want to collaborate and see what they fit into. What we usually do is, the Global Game Jam itself has its own website where they can, uh, you know, apply and say, I am interested in this, I do this, and that kind of stuff. That data is available for whoever is organizing those events, and I usually collect those data. I have a 4 years worth of data with me, and that data, whenever I have a couple, we have a couple of projects we're working on luckily here, or whenever these kind of projects come up, what we usually do is go back to this data, look through these people, and call them and say, we have this project. It's usually on games, and that's what we want to work on, and these people are interested to make a living out of this, and we say, you want to work on this project, we have this, are you interested? We can pay you this much, and that kind of stuff. And then if they are interested, and if they want to work with us, they work with us. So the Global Game Jam, the event itself, is, I would say, an introduction, and it opens up a lot of doors. One way of utilizing this event would be the scenario I just mentioned, and I would say there are a lot of opportunities to, you know, work together after, the jam itself. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. So our time is fast spent, but before we leave, I would like us to just share tips and tricks to ensuring everyone has a successful game jam. So what do you think should be done? What are the things you think should be in place to just have a successful game jam? So I would love each and every one of us to contribute to this, starting from Dennis.
So the question was like, what do we need to have a successful game jam this year?
Exactly.
Man, I think this is from like the organizer's perspective, right?
Yes, definitely from the organizer's perspective, because GGJ is online this year. It's not like everybody can come down to a physical location and be packed up due to COVID-19. So what do you
Yeah,
think is really, really necessary for a successful game jam?
I think a lot of patience with the participants is going to be needed this year, considering that it's online, and also helping to moderate, like to moderate the teams in terms of like collaboration and behavior and all that kind of thing. Because it's online, you lose that face to face interaction and a lot of behavior nuances lost, and the game jam towards the end can get very heated, like when you're like, where is the art? Where is the art? And since it's online, someone can get agitated to be like, why is this person being rude to me? So getting letting people understand that no, this is, understand where they're coming from, etc., etc., is going to be very important for us organizers, just to get everyone's uh, tempers cooled off or level. I also think that just helping out wherever you can, making sure that they're available. Since it's online, most people are going to be working through the night. I know it's unrealistic to have us as moderators be awake the whole time, but maybe if you can have someone help out, if you know someone who's a night owl, can be like your second in command, to be like, okay, if someone needs help at 01 a.m., they can contact this person and they can help out and that kind of stuff. I know those seem like very out of left field things, but they do come up. I've done stuff online before, and stuff like that has come up before in project management. I think that would be very important, making sure that this is a success, and also limiting people's scope, letting them know, especially for the new participants, because it's online, you might get some new participants as well. Letting them know just how much work they can do in a short period of time, depending on the team size, to avoid that crushing feeling of like, oh, I didn't get to do what I needed to do. I think is also important. Yeah, just and encouragement as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dennis. So, Femi, what do you think would be really, really successful? Would really make Game Jam this year success?
Well, as you all know, this is the first time we're going live online. So I don't know if anybody else have experience on this. I don't. But what I know is that working remote, well, most of us, if not all of us, have been working remotely for the past 1 year or more. Uh, and the same process, you probably need to, you know, we need to use existing to available tools, free tools, for many of us who can, use. We can use Google servers. We can easily share files to be on the same page and you know collaborate more easily. And we don't have to stream 24 hours. We can just have sessions, maybe morning session, afternoon session, evening session. Then we open maybe a WhatsApp group or something. There's something to just keep the idea flowing and to keep the connection, to keep the togetherness. And as Dennis has said, we have to be easy on each other
Yes,
because
we have to be.
yeah, though we are home now, so it's easier to people's health will be a little more managed. People can easily sleep if they want to catch some sleep. People can easily grab something to eat, unlike when we are in a center and disconnected from every other thing. So the advantage is going to be there, but I feel that it's going to be fun all the way. Yes.
Thank you very much. Vilia,
Yeah, I
what's
think
cooking?
Dennis and Femi said most of them. I will be more focused on the preparation and management, because at the moment it's online. I think participants need to be prepared for the event. It's just 2 days, 2 days past week. So have a platform where people can discuss, and where like developer and designer and all the team members can collaborate, like Femi said, and a lot of passions. So, and pray God that electricity and internet God will be with us.
All right then. So, Ransford, what do you think would be really, really key to success during the game jam?
Okay, sorry, I think I was muted. Um, for the preparation, I will be speaking from the creative side as a supervisor. I think the designers have to be ready with a lot of props as possible, a lot of templates in mind, because we don't know what is coming. But if you stay prepared, you can possibly halfway be done with things in a speed manner. So getting a lot of props, a lot of templates ready for whatever is coming would be a good tip for my designers. Also for the content developers, the, you it's about the speed and preparation. So now we are giving room for anything coming and preparing for how everything will go concerning the those who can manage their data. You know the days involved. If we keep in touch and you need help, you contact someone to help you with your data. I mean, it's something to help us meet the targets within 2 days. um, I think that will be the way out
That's very important. Having
for
the
us.
tools that you can help do stuff very, very quick. So,
The resources
Douglas,
needed.
Yeah, I think for me, most of my colleagues have mentioned what is required for a successful virtual event. I think for me, it's each community is different, in terms of what platforms they use to communicate. So I think mine will just be, if let's as community organizers, I guess let's understand what our community loves doing, and then let's support them from whichever that platform is. Yeah, thank you.
thank you very much, Douglas. So, the last person, Kiribel, can you just kindly share with us what you think would be really, really key to a successful game jam this year?
Um, as any game jam, I would say there are some things you can do before getting into global game jam event in general. But because this year's global game jam is specifically an online event, there are some other things I would suggest as well. Uh, so, for example, because as any global game jam, if you're registering as a team or as an individual, you can start preparation before, like right now. You can start working on, your basic idea of the game. At least the mechanics wise and that kind of stuff. When you get the team of the for this year, you can start working on that as well. Those are techniques we use for previous events, and you can still do that here. But because this is an online event, the Global Game Jam, the event itself is 4 days. I don't know if you have noticed. So that I think comes to an advantage as well, meaning that you have more time to work on the games themselves. And as a regional organizer, I've been telling my East African, jammers, site organizers, to use whatever local communication options they have. Because, like, for example, for us in Ethiopia, Telegram is, I don't know if you know Telegram, the app. It's a great option because most of Ethiopians use Telegram. So we use that as a primary communication tool. And you can do such a things for your own country. Um, uh, Besides that, I actually see this as an opportunity as well. I mean, working with a team is difficult in general. Working with a team online is, I think, an additional factor, and we can use this as a challenge and see what comes out of what we can get out of this as well. I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe the game jam this year would be much more fun. Although it's going to be a little bit stressful having to work with people in their remote locations, but I believe it will be fun. So thank you very much, everyone. We've come to the end of today's live chat with our amazing global Game Jam organizers in Africa. And we'll be coming back tomorrow too, where we'll be having some other Game Jam organizers from different parts of Africa also. So thank you very much, everyone, for sticking with us. All right, then. Do have a great day ahead.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good one. Stay safe, guys.
Thank you, and bye, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.
Thank you all.